In Luke 3:15, a bunch of the people that are listening to John the Baptist preaching are wondering if he is the Christ. And John responds and says, "As for me, I baptize you with water, but one who is coming who is mightier than I am, and I am not fit to untie the strap of his sandals." If there is anyone in history who you'd think would be fit and worthy to untie the strap of Jesus' sandals, you'd think John the Baptist would be pretty high up there on that list. But he says, no, I'm not worthy. I don't even come close. I'm not even fit or worthy to do something as small as untying the strap of his sandal. This really just shows us how transcendent Jesus is. He's so much higher and so above us fallen humans. We have a Jesus that is so much better than us and doesn't make the same mistakes that we make. He is categorically better. Yet also, later in this passage, we see Jesus being baptized by John the Baptist. John is not worthy to untie the strap of Jesus' sandals, yet John is doing something far more significant than that. He's actually baptizing Jesus. In Matthew's account, it's recorded that John the Baptist looks at the situation and he's like, no, this isn't right. This isn't how it should be. You should be the one baptizing me. And Jesus says, let's have it this way for now. It's necessary that it be this way to fulfill all righteousness. So Jesus is subjecting himself to be like a normal human, and that he is partaking in this significant baptism. He's setting an example for us of what it means to be righteous. We have another amazing picture of this in Luke 2:52. When basically we have the account where Jesus is at the temple, his parents don't know where they are, they come back, they find him, and they scold him, and then they all go back to Nazareth, and it says, he continued in subjection to them. So here we have Jesus, a sinless human, who is subjecting himself to parents that are not sinless. If you've ever been in a situation where you feel like your parents are really wrong and misguided about something, and you're right, you know the feeling of this. Jesus probably experienced it quite frequently. Yet, to be righteous and to set a righteous example for us, Jesus knew that it was necessary to subject himself to his parents because that's the way God intended it to be. So we could look at Jesus' example and go, Jesus, as a perfect human, subjected himself to imperfect parents. I, as an imperfect human, am surely able to subject myself to imperfect parents as well. It says in Luke 3:21, as Jesus was being baptized, that heaven was opened. What an amazing phrase. Heaven was opened. God opened the heavens and gave us something that could testify to Jesus, the Holy Spirit in the form of a dove. In those things, we see Jesus' immanence. He is in the midst of us. When you're reading the Bible and you come across that phrase, make sure you underline it. God made his dwelling with men. He made his dwelling among men in the midst of them. He is immanent and close by. What an amazing God that we can go to Jesus as the one that is so high above us and is capable of seeing over our situation and isn't disturbed when we are disturbed. And he isn't anxious when we might get anxious. Yet he also came down to be among us and to be with us. And even now, as he's reigning in heaven, we have the promise that even now we can have close, intimate fellowship with him. What an amazing Jesus that we serve, that he is so much higher and so much better than us than we can possibly imagine, yet he is so much closer and desires our intimate presence more than we can possibly imagine. And he made a way for us to have that intimate presence with him at Calvary.